He said Worm doesn't do it, so they come back and he wants to try to find a way to talk about it. So he says,
that's all of them right there.
that's the big guns.
I just said,
This is incredible to have so many of you here today to share in this incredible and momentous day for all of us in Beaver Nation. My name is Sean Hilbrun, and I have the pleasure of serving as the Senior Associate Athletic Director for Development here at Oregon State, and I want to thank all of you for being here today. This is an incredible day, one that is monumental for so many reasons for all of us, not just for Oregon State Athletics, but for Oregon State University. I'd like to extend a special welcome to those supporters who are here, whose generosity has enabled us to get to this point where we're going to get ready to move some dirt today. This is truly a team effort, and we could not have done this without all of you, so a big hand for the generous supporters who've helped us. I also want to thank all the university partners who have really been a champion of this project from day one. And many of you are here today, so a big hand for all of you at Oregon State who have helped us get to this point today. You know, we talk all the time in college athletics about great stories. And the story about this facility is a great one, and it's an inspiring one. And so, as is fitting with a basketball facility, we've assembled our starting five to help tell that story. And they will come and provide insight into what this facility means to them and to their programs, but really to Oregon State. So we're very fortunate to have with us today Oregon State President Dr. Ed Ray, our head women's basketball coach Scott Ruick. We have Director of Athletics Bob DeCarolis, our head men's basketball coach Craig Robinson, and then men's basketball student athlete Roberto Nelson, all of whom will be impacted in significant ways by this facility. But what's really exciting is how this impacts Oregon State. And so we will follow all of these remarks with the ceremonial first dig, which is incredibly exciting because this has been a long time in the making. And so there are a lot of excited people. The coaches especially cannot wait. They're going to be out here themselves probably working on this thing late at night. So it's really my pleasure at this point to introduce the man whose vision has helped transform Oregon State and all of the things that are going on this wonderful campus, this project being one of them, and especially as we are embarking upon a $1 billion campaign for OSU, it is this man's vision, this man's leadership that shows that anything is possible, and it is definitely the case here at Oregon State. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Ed Ray.
Good afternoon. It's wonderful to be here with all of you. It's clear from all the conversation and laughing that was going on as we all assembled here. A lot of people are feeling pretty good and pretty happy about where we are at this point with respect to this facility. And I was thinking Roberto gets to wrap things up, I guess, for the group on the podium. And it occurred to me that somebody realized nobody wants to have to follow a student. They're always wonderful. They always steal your heart, and you don't remember anything you hear after that. So that's why you're placed where you are, Roberto, and I know you're going to do a great job. It's really a great pleasure to welcome all of you here on this wonderful day for the groundbreaking of OSU's basketball practice facility. A lot of people, including some anxious basketball coaches, I would venture, have been waiting a long time for this moment. And a great many generous people have been part of bringing this important project to this point. I want to start by thanking all of you who've contributed to making today possible, and to urge everyone to keep up the good work until we have this beautiful and essential new building fully funded. When we started the campaign for OSU, a primary goal was ensuring that all of our students were able to compete in whatever forum with anyone, anywhere, both on and off the field. This meant hiring the best faculty and constructing or renovating key facilities. It meant underwriting qualified students who would be successful here if they were just given the opportunity. It meant working together to accomplish noteworthy things. This goal was clearly important in the case of our student athletes, who work so hard and represent the university so publicly and so well. Not something to be taken for granted. Obviously, one of our areas of greatest need in athletics was in basketball, where our limited facilities put a premium on practice time. Although I guess Coach Robinson early on didn't have a problem with his 5:30 practices, if I recall. A basketball practice venue was therefore among the campaign's initial goals, a fact that makes today's groundbreaking particularly special. As someone who has had extensive experience with the NCAA, including the role in negotiating the new TV contract for March Madness, I have a good idea of what it takes to compete at the upper echelons of college basketball. The Pac-12 is tough. The NCAA is tougher. Thanks to this facility, we will be in a strong position to compete at the highest level going forward. OSU has, as you all know, a great basketball history. We have excellent coaches. We recruit solid student athletes who can compete and win. And I think I saw Paul Valenti here earlier. Paul, I think Paul is over here. How are you doing? Paul and I share a birth date. And I'll tell you a funny story about Paul. We were talking one time about changes in athletics, and he said he had to get out of basketball coaching. We were talking about Title IX, and he said he was getting out of basketball coaching because of Title IX, and, you know, I bit. Fool that I was, and I said, well, what does that have to do with you coaching basketball? He said, well, most people don't understand. But one of the conditions of Title IX was that you had to adhere to the Geneva Convention in the way you treated your student athletes, and he knew he was done. Anyway, thanks to this facility, we'll be in a strong position to compete at the highest level going forward. OSU has, as you all know, as I've said, just a great tradition. We have excellent coaches. We recruit solid student athletes who can compete and win if given the opportunity to play under equal conditions. We do a great job in recruiting and competing. We've been hindered, however, by the lack of a practice facility. With today's groundbreaking, we're beginning to construct a beautiful facility that will rank among the finest in the country. Most importantly, as we have in so many areas of the university, we are giving OSU students and their teachers, faculty and coaches alike, the tools they need to compete and succeed with the very best, as I said, anywhere, anytime, and any place. I want to thank you all for being part of this wonderful project, and go Bees! I'm going to introduce Bob DeCarolis just because I can. All of you know Bob, and he's just a wonderfully warm and incredibly capable person. Bob is one of the people who in life has taught me that being able to read a spreadsheet is a lot easier than being able to make it balance. But he has done an amazing job of that, and I have to tell you, everywhere I go, NCAA meetings, elsewhere, There is no university president prouder of the coaches and staff and the programs that we have in all of our sports than I am. And that doesn't just happen. We have wonderful people here. You'll hear from some of our amazing coaches shortly, but there's one guy at the center of all of it who found that talent, who had those values, who connected wonderful people with this extraordinary university, and we wouldn't be here without his talent and efforts. Please welcome Bob DeCarolis.
Thanks, Ed, for those kind words, and I fooled another one. I'm pretty excited about that. Well, it's a great day to be a Beaver. Thank you. Can I get an amen? Thank you. It's an exciting day and exciting time for our basketball student athletes. We'll have this great facility pretty soon in the next 9 months. I'm happy for the wrestlers that will finally have a locker room next to their workout facility. But most importantly, I'm thankful that we're able to keep our promise for all those recruits that we promised this building for 13 years ago that graduated, went on to greater things, that we were building it just a little late. But for me, it's more about why it's exciting today. Yeah, the groundbreaking is great. It's a culmination of a long road. The final product 9 months from now will be a great facility. But for me, the personal note is more about the journey that you take over those 13 years. Kind of like a coach never remembers how the game really ended up, what the score was, but they remember one play here, one play there that could have changed the outcome. Usually the losses, not the wins. It's about the people, the conversations, and the hurdles that you had to go through to get to this point. So it was a long path. Sean talked about it earlier. I don't know why he's talking about it. He's only been here 11 months. But it started in 1999, and it had nothing to do with basketball. The original plan was to have an annex that was a competitive venue for volleyball, gymnastics, and wrestling that was going to attach to this building in 1999. Now, we really didn't have the fundraising pool at that time to make it work, but the reason why it didn't go, we found out that once you put a hole into that building codes, bad deal, 1949 building. Remember, Paul? 1949? Thank you. So that changed the product of where we were looking at, and we morphed into what we did today. But the next thing was moving the fields, trying to get a space to even build this facility. If you remember, if you go to the middle of that lot right here, the practice facility came to there, the parking lot went that way. So this place did not even exist. So we had to move the fields towards Truax. We had to move the parking lot this way to create this space. We didn't think that was such a big deal. Remember, in between the practice fields, you had the football coaching tower, which was the largest jungle gym in the world. And that was an easy thing to take out, until they told us that right in the middle between the fields is heavy-duty utility lines that connect the campus to the power station. A little bit of a problem. Going to have to move that. So right now you're sitting on top of that. And then the final design. We were always looking at one facility, one basketball court, until Craig Robinson came here. And he prodded, and he pushed, and he prodded a little more, and he prodded a little more, and he pushed a little more, and finally, like a reluctant parent, I gave in and said, yeah, we'll do 2 courts on top of each other. We'll do the 4 floors. We'll have a locker room. We'll have the offices. But you better win. So I think at the end of the day, this sends a strong message to our student athletes that we're committed. It sends a strong message to our donors that we're committed. And it sends a strong message to our competitors that we're going to compete and we're going to come after them. So finally, in closing, a guy, our next speaker, who knows all about competing, he took over an impossible situation 2 years ago, led the team to 20 victories this year, made the Sweet 16 in the WNIT. Our head women's basketball coach, Scott Ruick.
Thank you for pushing, Craig. That's fun to listen to the story. I wasn't here either. Like Sean, I've just been here about a year longer than him. Been here a lot longer, though, in some other ways. But before I say that, I just want to say thank you, President Ray, for your vision, your perseverance. Same thing for Bob DeCarolis. Thank you for your vision, perseverance. For Craig, same thing, as well as all the coaches that have come before you on the men's side, all the coaches that have come before me on the women's side, that have built such a strong basketball tradition at this school that allows this to be possible. I'm confident that both of our programs are headed back to those times. It's been exciting to watch the progress, exciting to see Gary and AC sitting courtside at the Pac-12 tournament. No other programs had that down there, and Craig brought you back into this program. It's been such a pleasure to see that because I'm a Beaver like you guys. You're my heroes. You know, Steve Johnson back there, same thing. What an honor this is for me to be here today in my role. One of my favorite quotes is, even if you are on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. I love that quote. None of us came here to get run over. None of us. We came here to compete at the highest level. This facility is going to allow us to compete for the student athletes we need and give us the opportunity to teach and train them to compete at that level. And so excited. I can't tell you how excited we are about this project. To those of you who are here today that have contributed, obviously, you're big supporters of this program. Can't thank you enough for what you've done. For those of you who are not here, listening, wherever, are going to see this later, thank you so much for your generosity to this school, this program, or our programs in this facility. For me, I said, I've been here a while. I was a fan of this place just 2 years ago. I was a former student, but I wasn't a part of things. I was up the road a little ways, pulling for Bob DeCarolis, pulling for Craig Robinson to win every game, cheering like crazy. And then 2 months after I was hired, I'm in a room being asked what I want in this facility. And I had been thinking about it it's so exciting. They're going to build this. When's it going to happen? When's it going to happen? And here I'm being asked, Scott, what would you like in it? Unbelievable opportunity. I'm so excited about what this building is going to be. It's going to give us incredible opportunities that, to be honest, for me, I haven't even been able to dream about. I mean, it's truly a dream come true. Consistent growth allows visions to become reality, and we've used that word vision a couple times already. Consistent growth is what has happened here. 22 years ago, I sat and watched a football game in a wood bleacher. I watched Oregon State beat UCLA that day in 1989, 18-17. And all I remember was the rain's hitting me sideways, the wind is howling, and I couldn't feel anything by the end of that game. Okay? Do you remember that? The wood bleachers in the north end zone. Okay? If you turned around, you could see nothing but green grass and a softball backstop back in that corner way over there. And to come back now and to look at the buildings and the facilities and to know across the board every program has made improvements, all the way to rowing, to softball and baseball are phenomenal. And now we're getting into track. Sports Performance Center is beautiful. I've had the privilege of walking former women's basketball players through our facilities. I've had the privilege of walking them through the weight room when they compare it to their old weight room, to walking them through our locker room, which is absolutely beautiful, when they compare it to their old locker room and watch their jaws hit the floor. I can't believe this. Okay, well, I can't wait to walk them through this building in 9 months. I think I'm going to have to try to help them up off the floor. It's exciting. Times have certainly changed, and it certainly doesn't start or just stop here. It's across campus. Just like President Ray was saying, it's hard to park. Buildings are going up everywhere. It's getting more difficult, and that's a good problem. One other thing for you to know, I've heard from every one of our freshmen today that's going to be joining us on July 9th for our Bridge program, how excited they are. All 5 of them have texted me today. This is the day. They're all looking so forward to this. The last thing I just wanted to share with you, the vision that I have for this program is for it to go places. It's certainly not to be mediocre. It's to compete at the highest level. My hope and dream, along with every coach at Oregon State, is to build a program that becomes a destination for student athletes. So a women's basketball player says, you know, Oregon State's an option for me. This facility is just another step forward. It's a new day, certainly, for us to compete at this level, at the highest level. And thank you for your generosity. To everyone involved, I just want to say congratulations, because that's the right word, and thank you very much. And I'll move this up, way up, because it's Craig's turn. Please welcome Craig Robinson.
All right. I can't say I'm any happier than anybody here, but I sure am happy. I sure am happy. I've had a grin on my face for weeks, and it wasn't because my sister was here. I'd like to also add my thanks to the great administration, President Ray and Bob DeCarolis. Thank you so much for having faith in us, our programs, faith in our student athletes. It couldn't be more heartfelt. We're happy to be here and happy to get this thing going. I want to also thank my staff, all right, my staff and my current players, some of whom are here. Roberto Nelson's here, and I see Joe Burton over there. I really want to. Just as important, and it's a pleasure I would like all the former players to stand up. All the former players, please stand up. I see Kevin McShane, who's the newest former player. Can we give them a round of applause? I really want to thank these guys, because we would not be where we are without you guys. Your support has been tremendous, all of you, coming to games, talking trash, coming to practice, helping this program get back to where you guys had it. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And then finally, our donors, I want to thank them as well. This has been a long road for you guys, a lot longer than it has been for me, but we couldn't do this without you. I want to thank you from the bottom of all of our hearts. Now let's get on to the business of winning. This has been a real team effort, and as such, our team is we're changing things around here. You know, we're raising the bar. This raises the bar for us. We want to be an elite program. We want to win the Pac-12. We don't just want to be in the Pac-12. We want to go to the NCAA tournament annually. And we want to graduate 100% of our players. And the impact of this facility is going to help us do that. Off the court, we'll be able to not have to schedule class at schedule practice at 5:30 in the morning, unless these guys don't do what they're supposed to do. Don't think because we're getting this that we won't practice early. This is a visible commitment from the administration to our fans, our players, our future, that this is, as Scott mentioned, a destination program, not just a way station. This is also this evens the playing field for us on the court. It evens the playing field. You know, we have a current player who's being considered to be an NBA player right now. And the reason why is because of player development. That kid was not a pro when he came in here, but he worked hard and he developed and had to find places to work out when he needed to work out. We want to continue to do that, but we want to do it for everyone. We want to do it for the Roberto Nelsons, the Joe Burtons, and this is an important step here. Yeah, a very important step. Solana even knows it's an important step. And it goes without saying that this facility brings us closer to being one of the elite programs in the country. Now, before I call Roberto up, he's going to tell you a little bit about how this is going to help the student athlete, which is the most important part of this. I mean, it's nice being a coach and having a place to recruit to. It's nice having a nice brand new building that you can market as a showpiece. But let's not forget, most of all, this is for our student athletes. So without any further ado, let me introduce Roberto Marquez Nelson.
All right. First off, I would like to thank everybody who contributed into making this building a reality. Speaking of, on behalf of my team and some of the women's basketball players, it couldn't be done without you guys, and I can't thank you guys enough for dedicating the time, money, and just just believing in us, and even through the hard times. And I'd like to thank the future alums and the alums that come and support us in the games and during the season. I just want to thank everybody who contributed into making this building a reality. This affects us, like Coach was saying, being a student athlete. I mean, this definitely opens up a lot of, speaking of practice times, I mean, hopefully we don't have to practice at 6 in the morning anymore. And just really, it helps us out because with classes and having to practice early and schedule practice at specific times, it definitely can take a toll when we're trying to register for classes. So, I mean, a lot of you guys, when you guys started helping out with this, I mean, that was probably something that didn't really come up, but this definitely helps me out as a student and being able to register for classes and to take classes that are the important ones at the right times in the day. So thank you guys very much. As everyone's saying, I mean, I'm just as excited as everyone here. I can't wait. Talking to Coach about it and talking to, I mean, everybody that's been here today, it's definitely been a blessing to have a building like this and to be a part of, I mean, the future of Oregon State. I mean, this definitely means a lot to me, and I'm proud to be a Beaver, and I love being that I am a Beaver. Oh, God, Kevin McShane's back there giving me a hard time. He's wearing the wrong color, too. But anyway. On serious terms, this definitely was a team effort, like I said. It couldn't have been done with everybody here and everybody watching and the people that couldn't make it. I mean, this is definitely something to be excited for and definitely be proud of. Like the people that spoke before me, the word is congratulations, because it wasn't just us. I mean, it was a team, and we all chipped in to making this building, like I said, a reality. And oh man, I'm at a loss of words. I don't really know what to say because I'm just so excited to get going. And I mean, I don't know who said it before me, but I might be out here with the coaches as well, helping build this building. But to close it, I would just like to thank everybody who believed in us and Beaver Nation and the men's team as well as the women's team. We are definitely pushing to become the best and finish at the top of the pack. And with this facility, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, we can definitely, we're up there with the top programs in the nation, and having a building like this where we could come in and practice at any time of the day and And so I mean, it's cool actually shooting with the women's team and stuff like that. But now we have more time to now individually we have more time to just go out there and grind and just work hard and try to perfect all the stuff in our game that we need. And I would just like to say thank you for everybody who was here and who's helped make this building a reality. Thank you guys.
Wow. Well, although it can never be stated enough, let me once again say thank you from the bottom of my heart for those of you who gave time, money, energy to help make this day a reality. Yes, Bob, it's been 11 months, but it's been 11 months of learning what Beaver Nation is all about. And what it's about is coming together to make great things happen. And our work continues today, just as it will tomorrow. Let's expect great things. Let's do it together. And let's be as great as we can be, as long as we believe. And Beaver Nation is definitely more than a concept. It is all about the relationships. And we are a part of Beaver Nation together. So let's move forward together. And I thank you so much for being here today. And now we get to do the fun part. So I'm going to ask President Ray, Bob DeCarolis, Craig Robinson, Scott Ruick, Roberto, and Patricia Bright from the women's team, who's here with us, to come up and collect a shovel and a hard hat, and let's break some ground. So for those of you who would like to watch the first dig, we invite you to sit in your seats or come on over to the site. And this is the actual site.
Do it. What do you want us, Nicole?
Right in a nice line.
Yeah.
All the men's basketball staff want to grab a shovel up here.
Men's basketball staff.
Okay, now grab some dirt.
Smile, guys, smile. Okay, what do you need next?
Hey! And the men's basketball, any of the families? You want to do pictures with the wives or anything? Or no?
Yeah.
Yeah? Families?
Okay, families, let's go.
Families.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, what do you need next?
Nick, there is your Nick.
You want to go up to the mic and would that be easier or no?
So women's basketball.
Women's basketball staff. Let's look towards the middle.
Okay.
Move a little dirt, move a little dirt, move a little dirt, move a little dirt.
Just don't throw it on us.
Eric, we're going to have to work on that technique.
No, this is the...
Good job.
brought in the...
Better. Making too much dust. Gotta go slow. Gotta go low. Families, jump in there, families. See Gary first, then do the Sean, why don't you wait seeing Gary first? Okay?
And I want to get you in on one of these. Right there, see him right there?
Thanks for coming.
And I didn't know.
You still got it.
How you doing?
Okay.
Do a dig, do a dig. Dig a little dirt.
Like you're ready to work.
Woo! Very nice, very nice. Okay, one with President Ray in there with you guys, please. That's nice. Okay, Farmer. Now Thompson. Oh, we can't probably get Paul out here.
It's my way today.
Come on, Joe.
Jim, you should get in this. Jim, you're a former player.
Come on, Kyle, get up there.
Turn and counterclockwise.
Hey, Steve, hang on.
Hat here. I don't have shovel.
Yeah.
Shoot the picture. Okay.
Nice, KB.
Dig
Smile
some
big.
dirt. Dig some dirt. Dig some dirt. Dig some rocks. Woo!